It's good.
Oh man, don't say it this way. You're gonna be sad.
Fine.
This is the best class for the record. This is the best class I had in the last 5 years.
Hey.
Today will get better.
It's all downhill.
This is the best class I had in the last 5 years, and I'm really happy. I think I'm getting better. I don't know. Or get lucky. Huh? It's okay. So it's week 10. Who's graduating this semester?
Good certificate.
Yeah. Anybody coming back?
I want him.
Yeah. Please come back.
All my classes.
Oh, you have 2 of my classes.
Isn't if you came back next year, would it just be all general?
We're coming back.
You still have 2 classes for film. Okay, so we're doing gas and gas trains, and this is for big gas boilers. If you were to work in a power plant, or if you work with the HVAC department here in school, or some other big building heating system, you will deal with gas and gas trains. It's just for information, and there are a few things I want you to remember in this. So element of combustion, please remember that. That'll be very sad if you finish the class and did not know what are the elements of combustion. And I will write down the combustion equation, which for sure it will be in your oil burner exam. That is for sure. So for combustion you need fuel, plus air, plus spark. Look at you guys. We're gonna give heat plus. What did we measure from the combustion test? CO2 plus. What comes out of your muffler in the morning in the car? Water. This is actually what you want if you have complete combustion. There are other things that you don't want. NOx and SOx. These are things you don't want. Yeah, SOx and NOx. They call them SOx and NOx. They're really bad for the environment, and they come if you don't burn the flame correctly and the flame is not the right size. So probably you will deal with these at some point, but this is what we are.
So far, the flame is like not like, it's like too small, like too big.
You gotta get some SOx and NOx. I went to a course, 8-hour course at Mystic, where the guy was trying to explain to us that in 8 hours, that big flame will give you a lot of SOx, and through a lot of research, they realized that what is the optimum size of flame, we don't have SOx and NOx. Okay, you could have told me in 5 minutes, but anyways, so the flame has a lot of chemistry in it. But in all fairness, probably somebody had to spend hours and hours to see why is the flame producing this. Because you do understand that flame temperature is different from the middle of the flame, side of the flame, the edge of the flame, so it's different. So every time you burn something differently, and you produce something different. Another thing that just keep in mind a little bit. It's very interesting. At different temperature, you burn the things at different levels. So if you heat water to 1,000 degrees, it will change instantaneously from water to hydrogen and oxygen. It's not even combust, it's not even go to steam. So different temperature give you different product. That's why also, if you remember back in the 90s when they produced those light cigarettes, and they said light cigarettes are worse for you than regular cigarettes. Why? Because what happens is you're going to pull more on the cigarette, producing more combustion, more temperature, which will produce new chemicals. So the hotter it is, the different chemicals you produce out of the fire. So the same idea goes into like burning the fuel. How do you share the flame? How does it burn? And what is the range of all the spectrum of the temperature? So fuel, air, and ignition, which is spark, and sometimes you need a pilot. Which one is easier to control? What do you think? If you want to control the flame, if you want to control your car speed, what do you control? You get fuel. The fuel is the easiest thing to cut off, and it's the main thing that you have to control the flame, whether it's on or off. Air is everywhere. What if the boiler has a leak? Well, if crack, it's gonna burn. You can't control the air. Ignition, the fire is already on. So it's going, once you turn it on, it's going to be like burning and burning. So in forest fire, they're trying to fight forest fire, but air is everywhere. The fire is already on. Yeah, they have to wait for the fuel to finish, which is all the trees. So there's always fuel. So you gotta control the fuel, which fuel the flame. So what is a valve train? So the purpose of a valve train is to control the flow of fuel into the combustion chamber so that it runs evenly. So we want to put a series of valves to control the fuel. When it comes to, again, fuel coming into gas sometimes. You want to control the amount of gas, the pressure. And gas is different than liquid in a sense of what? Which is, you're the right track, compressibility. So if you push it too hard, you might compress it. And you don't know if it's going to go smooth or not. So it's different density. So gas is a little bit more finicky than oil to control, or liquid, because you have to control what is the amount of fuel you have. And you have to know how much molecules of gas you have in that fuel. So that's something you want to think about. Most codes are written in regards of fuel valves. So the code, so the valve trains depend on two things: the number of fuel valves. People will be very impressed if you go to a power plant or a commercial building heating and you understand what's a gas train mean. Okay, we understand a gas train. We understand what's a valve mean, and we understand what how a boiler is rated. So gas train is based on number of valves and size of the boiler. What is the size of the boiler? Is it how big it is? Huh? BTUs. BTU in, BTU out. So we can have two boilers. We have a Scotch Marine boiler at the end of the shop. It's huge. It's almost half this room, and it produces 1.5 million BTUs per hour. We have next to it thermal pride, high velocity, hot water, and it's as big as this, half as big as this table, and it also produces 1.5 million BTU. So how is that? How do they do that? One of them, the Scotch Marine, produces steam. That's why you have a big chamber. Meanwhile, the thermal pride is just heating water very quickly, and it has small little flames going on. So types of valves involved in industrial boilers. IB is an acronym for industrial boilers. So we have manual valves. They're manual. Okay, look. They look like a big valve, big ball valve or big gate valve. They can have a wheel on it. You turn the wheel or you turn it on or off. We have automatic valves. There are 3 types of automatic valves. And I'm assuming a lot of you took a power plant, so you will be a little bit familiar with those valves. So a motorized valve is basically a manual valve with a motor on it. So it can turn half a turn, complete turns, fully closed or fully open. So this is more controllable. A solenoid valve, what does it do? It's either on or off. You have that in your gas burner. You have that in your oil burner. It's either on or off. This one is very fast because once you energize it, it's either on or off. A motorized valve sometimes have a gearbox, and it will turn the flow slowly on and off. So back in the days, they don't remember that, John. When we used to have an antenna. Who had an antenna before? Yeah.
20 years.
Huh? Yeah.
They still had that. They're just
Yeah. So we used to have an antenna in the roof, and if you are fancy and you have enough money, you can have motorized antenna and a control in the bottom, so you can turn it sideways to get the better channels, and you can turn it. And you turn the bottom, and you see the motor, you see the antenna turns to get the best signal. So that's back in this. Felipe, guys. So they also have that with dish. Sometimes if it's not fixed dish, you can go on grass any network you want. Actually, in Europe and in the Middle East, you can get a lot of free satellite.
Really?
You can't get that here.
No.
It's illegal.
Yeah, yeah, no.
Over there, you can go with your dish and like get any satellite and get it for free. There's a lot of free channels.
Yeah, here you're
Here,
stealing.
here you
stealing
steal.
Or you just get an antenna.
Huh?
That's what I have an antenna, it's like 40 channels.
40?
Yeah, the HD,
I'm
yeah, the
confused
HD
between
antenna,
the
yeah.
first. Yeah.
You get basic, like most all the basic channels and a couple.
Okay.
Which
So, motorized antennas, a motorized valve is basically a motor that has a lot of torque that can turn a valve on and off. Solenoid, diaphragm valve, again, it has a diaphragm, it's always under pressure, and it pushes on a pin on and off. Felipe, get it down please. Safety relief valves, what are those? Those are very, very essential in any power plant or any industrial boiler. And the boiler, you need at least two. For residential, you have at least one, whether it's hot water or steam. What is the pressure for a safety relief valve in a residential?
2.
Huh? The pressure on the relief valve. 30. That's the maximum. That's the pressure is supposed to be 2. If it goes beyond 30, it will open up. So safety relief valve are safety devices that are gauged to open up completely, fully open once it reaches certain pressure. Safety relief valve have to be maintained periodically because they are your defense against high pressure. Again, we are working with high pressure boilers, and you don't want that pressure to build up because if you build pressure, you will have an explosion. You can burn fuel as much as you want, and you're not going to have explosion unless you have pressure buildup. That's why if anybody worked in a bulk plant or in those big barrels where they store oils, most of the roof is movable roof. It's a floating roof. So even if this tank catching fire, it does not build pressure. So building pressure is very important. Does your tank, your car tank has a relief valve? Yes, it does. It has a vent. If it didn't have a vent, you wouldn't be able to pull gas out of it, right?
Okay.
That's why, huh?
Won't put it in it.
Say it again?
Won't put gas in it.
Yeah, and that's why also if you look at your gas cap, it has holes in it, so it will allow air to come in. So you always do not want, huh?
Fuel tankers have like a plug on that are meant to melt at a certain point. So
Yeah.
They know that that's where it's gonna come shooting out.
Yeah. So in the movies, when you see somebody's car flip over and explode, that doesn't make sense. To go catching fire, but it will not explode. To have an explosion, you need build up pressure. Question?
Yeah, like being rear-ended at a certain
No,
speed.
yeah.
There's state troopers that die like that.
Yeah?
Yeah, rear-ended.
Catching fire, look, it blows.
Explosions.
Oh.
No, my car exploded, so.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's serious. It's
What year was
faulty
it?
wiring now.
What year was it?
Huh?
What year was it?
Pontiac Grand Prix
Oh, yeah, this was-
2001.
Yeah, all cars, yeah.
It is my first car.
Yeah. The new cars do not explode at all.
The old,
So-
the old LTD.
Yeah. We still have problems with explosions in power plants. That's why by law, listen, you're not allowed to leave a power plant unmanned, ever. If it's running, no matter how automation you have in that car, in that power plant, you cannot leave a power plant unmanned. At least one person, if it's even idle. You have to leave it alone. So that's why the job market for power plant operator is very high, and they're always looking for people. So if you're interested in applying for a power plant, please do yourself a favor and go and review the power plant book and apply for the second time my license. Question? Huh? Building 17. The power plant at the bottom. There's two power plants in Springfield. There's one in Ludlow, and I'm sure there's a lot of power. Where do you think the power is coming from? From the wire? No, it's coming from somewhere. Okay. So manually operated valve. They are, if everything failed, because by law you have to have manual valve. Why? Power failure. Things got stuck. Rise of the machine. The robot took over. You know, artificial intelligence taking over. So you need something manual so you can go and shut off the valve manually. And those manual valves can be anywhere in the plant, but usually near the boiler somebody can go and shut it down if everything not work. So even though we have automatic valve train, it's a must to have a shutdown valve manually. Same with your with your oil burner at home. Even though there's a manual valve, there's at least two points in the oil supply where you can shut off things manually. And again, if you notice, for good safety regulations, even in your car, everything that is automated can be done manually. Because, especially for safety things, gas tank, the trunk, they can be opened manually. So advantages of solenoid. So write this down for solenoid. They are fast, active. Is motorized fast? No. It's very slow. Motorized is not as fast as solenoid. Solenoids are inexpensive because it has different mechanism, and they are very simple to operate and replace. So if you work in a plant, there's an ongoing preventive maintenance. All valves have to be replaced and checked, even if they still function. So that's for reliability. So the valve, every 6 months, every valve has to be checked. Every year it has to be replaced and overhauled, because those are the safety things that you need to know. So this is an automatic valve, a solenoid. If you notice, it's just the pin that energizes and de-energizes. When it's de-energized, it is down and shut off the flow that's going through it. And when it's energized, the solenoid here is making a magnet, and this magnet pulls up the pin, and the flow goes through it. So solenoid is very quick, on and off, and you are required to have at least one in your gas drain. Diaphragm. Diaphragm tank, they have slow opening and fast closing. Why do we need slow opening and fast closing?
Fast closing is a problem.
Do you have a diaphragm? Have you seen a diaphragm? One? Probably you did. If in your gas tank, if you have a grill and you're grilling using butane, if you look at that little big valve on top of the, before the grill, is a diaphragm tank. So it opens slowly and closes fast. So when you open the gas, you have to open all the way up, but it will let the gas in slowly. What happens if you, guys, what happens if the gas comes in quickly in a grill? It will flood the chamber, and if you're grilling and you turn the gas and it comes out really quickly, it will puff, and you don't want that. That's really scary. So it opens slowly, let the gas in, but when it closes, it shuts off quickly. So it's when you open it, it opens slowly and closes fast, and it is gas operated. Advantages: it's very cheap, it's very quiet, you don't hear it clicking on and off, and it has a long life. The diaphragm is very rubbery and elastic, and it shuts off. Phones away, guys. Pay attention. We're almost done. Motorized valve. So they have tight close off. What is the advantage of having motorized valve? You can control the flow using those valves. They are like a dam. So it can be half closed, half open. You can have it fully open, fully closed, and you can have it quarter turn or half a turn. So you have accurate control of the flow rate, whether it's gas or fluid. It is used for a fire and grade control, and it's also called a butterfly valve because of the shape of this plate. And you can control the flow rate, and you can also control the angle that goes through those valves. Again, if you go to the power plant book, you'll see a lot of valves included into a power plant, but at least I gave you an introduction of the 3 of them, which you can control using the control system. So if you notice here, it also has a manual override. So if it doesn't respond, you can turn it around and close it. Any questions? Valve trains. So valve trains, gas valve train, basic components. We have a lot of acronyms, but I will not ask you to remember all of them, but I posted a sheet online on Blackboard with all the acronyms that you're going to use for the homework to go to those acronyms. So manual shut-off valve, those acronyms or abbreviations. Actually, what is the difference between an acronym and an abbreviation? Huh? Yeah, acronym, it can be pronounced as a word, like what? Like NASA. That's an acronym. Abbreviation is like when you just can't pronounce it as well. So this is an acronym. This abbreviation. MSOV. SSOV. Safety shut-off valve, pressure regulating valve. So these are the valve trains included into the, before we see the gas. Okay? One more. So this is the 5 and sometimes 6 sequence of operation. Pre-purge, pilot flame. Sometimes we have proof for the pilot flame, then the main flame, normal operation. That's basically cruise control, and finally post-purge. And next week we'll do, for the lab we'll do gas, residential gas. Then after that we'll do wiring for 2 industrial boilers. Okay, I'll stop here, then I'll finish the rest of this work on Thursday. Thank you.